Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how to manage information in the Jobs section of 360 and information related to specific jobs. So let's start by going to the Jobs List page, which I have up here. If you're not there already, just click on your Jobs link here in the navigation bar, and that will call up your Jobs List page. And once you have that, let's take a look across at some of the details we have. We have Add a Job, which we covered in our last video. We have a list of all active jobs in the system in list form, and then you have the different columns that sort the information. So this allows you to see what's active at a high level. The columns that are in blue here are sort columns, so you can take the entire active jobs list and sort it by any of the criteria that you see here. If you want alpha customer, if you want by status, arranged by complete date. The other thing that allows you to kind of isolate and sort information are these filters on the right here. In this case, you'll see that I can select one of these to look at jobs that are specifically in one status or more. In this case, I've told the system that I only want to see the jobs that are in the system as new, which means that they haven't been looked at yet or haven't been scheduled. I'm going to release that. And there's also a search on the top, which we've covered in the quotes videos, but I'll briefly show you here again. This is a way to search just within the section for a specific job. I use this, as I've mentioned before, I use this more than I use the keyword search up top. I really find that this helps me to get where I'm trying to go a lot more quickly and efficiently. So using the ones that are within the sections, I think it's in jobs, quotes, customers as well, really helps you to zero in on your information. So in this case, I'm going to let's pick a customer that I'm looking for. Let's pick creation site. And I've already got this set for customer name, but these are the other ones that you could select. And that is to look for your search criteria only within these fields. And that, again, is going to help you narrow down your search even better. In this case, I'm selecting a customer name. And here I have 3 jobs active in the system. And this will help me to zero in on the one that I'm looking for. A reminder, whenever you use the search tool, to clear the search when you're done. And the reason is that it saves this search criteria. So if I were to create a search, save it here, and then navigate around the system, if I came back to my jobs list page, my search would still be active. So when you're done, you want to just make sure you click that clear search button. Let's go into the details. I'm going to select the details button, and that takes me to my first tab here. So across here you see these are, if you look at it this way, this is kind of like my file cabinet for this job. I have Snapshot, which is a kind of a front page of all the active things taking place. I have customer info, job info, billing, documents and files that have been uploaded to the system, messages that have gone through 360 about this job, and of course my activity log at the end here. Let's start on the Snapshot page. This is a nice, valuable tool. It's kind of a bird's eye view of what's happening on this job. On my left, I have all of my customer information. My job site map is down here. On my right, these are my metrics or my financials. It shows me what was estimated, how much has been invoiced, what's left. So it's a kind of a mini P&L for this job that lets you see how you're doing. All of this information is real time. So down here where you see labor costs, you'll see estimated and then actual down here at the bottom. So this shows me that between these two job items, I have estimated a total of $760 worth of labor. At this point, none has been tracked. As hours are tracked in the system, their dollar values will start to show up here. The same thing will happen for your material costs and other costs as well. It also shows you related quotes or related invoices. In this case, the job was created without quoting, so you won't see any in here right now, and there hasn't been anything invoiced yet on this job, which otherwise those would show up in list form down here. So the snapshot, again, is a real good once-over. It's a great place for finding real-time information, finding how you're doing on a job as it's in progress. Real quickly up here on the top, I'll show you this little pull-down tab is also in the quotes section, and it's a quick place for you to change status and assign this for someone's attention in the system. So here if I could also say this is now it's rough and ready, and I'm ready for the manager to take a look at it. I can copy this job, which we will get to later. I can also delete this job. That's where I would do these actions here. Let's close that up, and let's go over to my customer information. All of this was created when I created my job, and so you have access to it here. Let's go over to my job info. Same thing, this information was created when I created the job. But I'm going to pause here when I come to job items. Let's go through, and here you can see I have 2 job items for this job at the moment. And I'm going to edit one of the items. Let's say that someone calls and the scope of this item has changed. So I just click on it, and it brings me over here on my left to the original information that I put in. It allows me to make that change. The other thing that I can do, let's go back to my job items here, is I can add a new item. Frequently you'll be out on a job, and while you're there something will come up, something that is in addition to the work that has already been requested. And now with this open, I can put an estimate on it or not. I'm going to choose not to on this one. I'm going to hit save. And my 3rd job item has been put up into my job. So in this case, things can happen very quickly, but they can also the job can be edited and managed very easily as well. Again, you can edit what's there by clicking on the links, or you can start a new item over here on the left. I'm going to skip over the scheduling link because we have a whole video about scheduling. Any requirements that I put in, we showed you this when we did quotes, but the same thing is here too. If I've created a job and I have to acquire a permit, click on any of these preset and they will show up now. You can also give these a date. Due by 25th, and any notes that I want to put in here. And I can create a bank of requirements. So while I'm showing you this is how you can add one here. These are my presets. I can add a custom one here that is just related to this job. I can also add to my bank of requirements. So I can go down here, hit save for that. And it's, as you can see, I've created it up here now. Now I can use it easily anytime in the future. And I can add a custom requirement. Give some information about it. Created today. Assign it to. Give it some out time, and then any notes that I have that pertain to this requirement would go here. Requirements is a great place for tracking things that are unique to that job. Permits are the most common code upgrades. Anything that is a process or an item that cannot be overlooked for the completion of the job goes here. This is also tied in with our alerts process. So if things are not going by best practice, then a little red dot will show up on your list pages with that job and tell you that something requires your attention. Change orders I'm going to cover in the next video, and this is kind of an additional step to making changes to our job items here. sometimes the scope change can be fairly significant, in which case it requires a more formal change order process. So we'll cover that next as we talk about how to manage jobs. Thanks for watching. This is How to Manage Jobs Part 1. Stay tuned for Part 2.